everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing good. Now today I've got a very special guest and it has been such a long time since I've spoke with Amanda and I honestly can't wait to just, chat with you about Arsenal. But first of all, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you for having me back on. It's so nice not to have to host and be a guest and just sit, relax, and chat with another lovely Gooner girl.
Oh, I'm really looking forward to it. I just wanted to say hi to the people that are starting to come in. And hello, hope you're okay. Hope you're all okay that are watching now. But yeah, I thought I could just start off by just getting your overall thoughts just about, the season, how it's going, because I can't remember last time we spoke, but it's been a pretty, good season for us. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on it.
Oh, it's been incredible. I've loved it. I've
Yeah.
loved this season much more than last season. And I think we've played incredible football. It's just been amazing. And obviously, like we're recording this, well, it's not, it's live, isn't it? Friday night. And all we've all been thinking about is can Fulham get a point against City? Can Arsenal beat United? One of the worst United sides we've
Yeah.
seen in so many years. You know, will Spurs lay down and die on Tuesday evening? Will West Ham do us a favour for their old mate Declan Rice? Will we beat, who we need to beat, United and obviously Everton? And it's driving me mad. It is
Yeah.
absolutely, because I know it sounds weird. The week has gone really slow and they never do. My world is very busy. My job is very busy. But I feel like this week it's like already, come on already, because we're all waiting for maybe Fulham to do something. And it's tough, but I've said all along, very proud of the boys. Whatever happens, I feel like we've won. I know it sounds really strange, and
Mm.
I feel like even if we don't win, Sophie, that we have won. We've got the
Yeah.
most incredible manager and management. We've got the wonderful fans, home and away. We've had
Yeah.
the most amazing season, and touch wood, we've been lucky with injuries towards this part of the season, hence why we are doing so well. Where last
Yeah.
year all that bottle nonsense was rubbish, we had injuries. Um, but it's just been remarkable, and I'm so proud of them because whatever happens this week, look, I've said for a few weeks now, I think we'll win all our games. I think City will win theirs,
Mm.
and they'll be crowned champions. Um, but as we know, Sophie, football's a funny old game.
It is so tough, isn't it? I do agree. I think this week's been dead slow, and I can't stop thinking about the United game because, if we lose that, draw that, it's over for us. So I feel like it's exciting, but it's really scary. I mean, for me, the only game that I could potentially see them dropping points is maybe Fulham. I mean, it's hard to know. I think all we can do right now is our job and focus on what we're doing. But we've got to really hope, they do drop points. But I think, like you say, if we didn't, win it this season, I do feel
Yeah,
more positive about the season than last season because I think last season, I'll be honest, I felt more devastated really than anything. I just felt like it was really our time to do it. And it's obviously really tough competing with Man City, but this season, like you said, it's a bit of you feel more proud of the team and how far we've come. And I feel, yeah, I do get that feeling a lot more, but we've definitely got to, hope and pray, things go our way. But I know obviously on Sunday we've got United, and we know United obviously got battered by Crystal Palace, and they've not had the best season. But I know our away record to their ground isn't the best. How are you feeling about going away to United?
I, ju- I just I just wish it wasn't United.
Yeah.
I, because as you say, our record is not great there.
Mm.
It's a weird one, this, because it's a similar situation from when Tottenham host City on Tuesday evening. You've seen on social media that Tottenham fans want their team just to literally pass the ball in their own net. Because and do you know what? For all the criticism and stuff, I get it. Listen, if this was the other way round and Tottenham were going for the league and we were playing Man City, I can honestly say that most of us would want us to lose because you
Yeah.
just wouldn't want Tottenham since 1961, before even I was born, that they've won the league. You wouldn't want it. So I
Mm.
do get it. I absolutely do get it. I wouldn't go on social media and do what a lot of them have done, but I totally get it. And it's the same for United. Was I say it's the same? I think it's slightly different. Tottenham don't hate City. United don't like us at all. And that stems back because we were rivals with them. Tottenham have never been rivals with City. To be fair, Tottenham
Yeah.
and City were never that big anyway. Only, as we know, when Man City were
Yeah.
bought. So
Yeah.
what I feel is it's gonna be easier for City, and again, they have a terrible record at White Hart Lane. I keep arguing with my City mates, though. They're saying the same as me, that they don't
Mhm.
score at White Hart Lane. I said, "We don't do well at Old Trafford." The difference is Spurs are, I don't know about the team, obviously, but the fans don't want it. United, I think they're a bit ambivalent to it. I've got United friends that want us to beat them 1-0. But then I've also seen United fans saying they want to stop us winning the league.
It's really strange. I get what you mean because if it was the other way around, I wouldn't want Spurs to win anything, but I wouldn't want us to lose either. It's a very weird situation to be in. I think I do see possibly Man City dropping points in that Spurs game, but it must be quite strange for the players because they know if they draw or win, they're basically helping us win the league. So it's a really strange position
It,
to
it's
be
it's a
in.
strange it's a strange one, and I haven't had much time to look at football this week. But I don't
Yeah,
know. I think Tottenham can still get in the Champions League, which we hope. That's what we have to hope they
yeah,
can. So they go for it because remember, players and fans are very, very different. They're on
mhm,
bonuses. Their club will expect them to get in the Champions League. For players, it's not about helping Arsenal. It's about beating City
yeah,
for Tottenham. For fans, it's totally different. And you know what? I've seen a few Arsenal fans say, "Oh, if this was the other way round, I wouldn't." Yes, you would. You would not be upset if City beat us and won the league over Tottenham. Listen, we all were Liverpool fans in the Champions League, weren't we? You
yeah,
know, that
exactly.
time they played them. So it's tough. And I think listen, I don't know, Sophie, it's a tough one this because United are really, really poor. Whatever way you look at this, you cannot turn around and say, if we turn up, if we're on our day, we should get 3 or 4. But they are capable of scoring, United. It's just their
Yeah.
defence and midfield. We have to be on it. We have to be on it from minute one, and we have to go at them. We get an early goal, we get 2 early goals, I think they'll just capitulate.
It's yeah. I think the more I think about the game, the more stressed I'm feeling because we need to win it. And I know, like you said, our record there isn't great, but I feel we've just got to win it. At this point, I always say I don't care how we win. We've just got to win these games. I do think though. I know we've got the Everton game coming up, and I think because they're safe, I think that might be a better game. But I think with United, I don't know who's closer to getting that Europa League spot, but I know you mentioned with Spurs, I think they're like maybe 7 points behind Villa. So there technically is still a chance Spurs could get that top four spot. I think it's hard because the teams that City are playing, they don't really have a lot to fight for. I know Fulham and Leno sort of said that they want to end the season on a high. I mean, obviously, we can hope and pray that does happen, but I think it's for me, I will always have a bit of hope, but I'm being realistic, and I know that it probably won't happen. So it is hard. I would really love to destroy this United side. It would be great. I do agree with Phil. Yeah, good point and well said, Amanda. Yeah, I think we need to get those 3 points. And talking on the team for you, would you change anything? Because I know Arteta's been keeping sort of a similar lineup. I know the left back position's a bit of a inconsistent one. Sometimes we see Tomiyasu, sometimes we see Kivio. But would you keep it or would you change it?
I'd keep what we have. Every week I think, oh, Trossard should start on the bench because he's a super sub, and then he goes and does what he does.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know what he'll do, if he'll play Tomiyasu. I don't know if Tomiyasu's fit. I do feel that I would keep the same team as what Tarek
yeah,
has said. I would. He's obviously not sure about Martinelli starting at the moment, maybe trying to bring him back slowly because of the injury.
yeah,
Um, but to have Martinelli on the bench is just wonderful. And remember, we also have Jesus and Emil Smith Rowe, and we've got a decent bench. No, I'd stick with Partey and Rice,
Mhm.
Havertz, and Saka.
Yeah, I think you've got to just stick with what works best, and then knowing this game, we've got to obviously do that. So yeah, I do agree about the same team, and I did actually want to ask you a bit about Jorginho because obviously he has extended his deal at Arsenal. I know at the moment he kind of comes off the bench because Partey is back, but do you think him extending his deal is deserved? Are you happy about it? Just talk to me about how you feel about it.
Do you know what I don't know if you know I'm like Sophie, but I don't criticise anyone that
Mm.
Mikel buys. I don't
Yeah.
actually criticise anyone any manager buys for our club.
Mhm.
I know a lot of people throw their toys out. I mean, obviously with Jorginho and Havertz, they just threw their toys out. Now, Jorginho was okay, but I
Mm.
think he's really come into his own this season.
Yeah.
Players need time to bed in at other clubs. Look at Havertz. I mean, to be fair, I don't think anyone foresaw in August how he's playing now. I just don't think anyone saw that. And that's an amazing achievement. And big up to Mikel for believing in him. Big up to Havertz and the team around him. They all love him. And he's just tremendous up front. Jorginho, for me, I am so pleased he's extended. The experience alone, the
Mhm.
fact that he's won big, big trophies, the fact that he's a calm head. And I think what changed it for me was the amount of games he has played and played well. And then I
Mhm.
watched the Amazon documentary with him and a few other footballers and their footballers' wives. And what a man he is. I fell in love with him and his family. I fell in love with how much he loves Arsenal, how much he loves playing football, how good he is to his family. Shows what a man he is. And I just sat there and thought, oh my God, Jorginho, I love you. His wife calls him Jay. I now call him Jay. So, Jay, when I tweet. But I think he's absolutely
Yeah.
excelled. His experience alone self, Sophie, he's going to go
Mm.
into management. He's going to
Yeah.
start coaching, and I think he'll be there for a long time. The big smile on his face says it all.
Yeah.
He's a winner, and we need winners. This is what the difference is this season. I know Declan Rice didn't win a massive European
Mm.
trophy, but he's a winner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jorginho's a winner. Havertz is a winner. Even Jesus, and we needed that because Saka isn't a big winner, and Ben White and Gabriel, then Saliba, they're not big winners, and we
Mm.
need that in the team for experience. We are going to need calm heads on Sunday.
Yeah.
This is the game. I'm not worried about Everton. I'm not saying we're going to beat Everton, but I'm not
Yeah.
worried about
Yeah.
their heads against us. Um, I'd love it to be in our hands. I'd love to Fulham to get a point. We win on Sunday, and it goes into our hands. But I've said all along that it is always better to be in the position we're in up
Yeah.
to a couple of weeks ago, but not this position because it's not in our hands now. And Aston Villa was the one. Although I personally look back to before New Year, Fulham and West
Yeah,
Ham.
the Fulham one I look back at a lot. I think the draw we got with Man City I was actually quite happy with because I think it was just a fair result and we've got 4 points away from them this season, so I couldn't really complain. I think the Villa one, I think it was just really a bad day at the office type of game,
Mm,
but I think the Fulham game for me I do look at and I think that those games are the games you should be winning, but it is a hard position to be in because we don't know what's going to happen. Things could change. I do agree with you about the Everton game. Actually, I think if they were in a relegation zone, I think it would be a lot difficult because
yeah,
they would have to win that game. But I think because they're obviously got enough to stay up, I think they'll obviously play well. But I feel like it won't be as difficult as it would be if they were in the relegation zone. But it's going to be tough. I think the United game is. I think if it was at home, I'd be a bit more confident. I do feel like we will win, but I don't think it would be as easy as it would be at home because I think at home we've got that great record, and I think the support away there is absolutely amazing. So I think that'll really push the team on. I just wanted to read Phil's comment to you. So Amanda, which team do you prefer, our current side or a team of 89?
oh,
It's hard.
I I can't answer that, to be
You love
honest.
them both, yeah.
It's an absolute different position because when we went to
Mm,
Anfield in '89, and I did not bring this up. everybody. When we went there in '89, it was in our hands and Liverpool's hands. It's a very different
Yeah,
concept at the
different.
moment.
It's
It's not in
yeah,
our hands. At the moment, it's not. So it could be by Sunday evening, it could be. But I would like to say to you, Sophie, and everybody else, those last 9 minutes against Spurs are going to feel like nothing compared to how we are on Sunday. Because every time I've gone to watch Man City in the last couple of weeks, thinking they could drop, they haven't dropped a point. So I'm not gonna watch tomorrow. I'm just not gonna bother, okay,
yeah,
because maybe that will help. I if they beat Fulham, either way, Sunday is going to be one of the most stressful games
yeah,
you lot of a younger age have ever experienced, because Anfield was beyond hard. I don't know if I've experienced another one since. I'm trying to think of another game. If anyone in your chat room can think of a game
yeah. That was
that
now.
since '89 that has been this stressful. When we went to the Champions League final, it was all over really when he sent Lehmann off. Um,
Yeah. I
I'm
think for
trying to think.
me, I think yeah, because as a younger fan, I think the game that really like I knew when we got to the Europa League final with Emery, right? I think when Chelsea scored a few, we knew it was game over, but it really for me broke my heart because the Champions League final is obviously bigger than that, but I think if I watched it then, it would have been more stressful. But I think it's hard when you get to finals and it just falls apart. Um, Anfield 89 was the most nerve wracking in the last 10 minutes. I don't know how you managed to get through that.
Well, the thing is, I was 18 at the time, so it's a
Yeah,
different situation. I honestly think if it was the same thing now and I'd got a ticket for Anfield and it was this
yeah,
situation, I nearly didn't cope against Spurs. I had to look to the ceiling and start deep breathing because my heart was
yeah,
racing. And one of the people in the chat room said that if we beat United and Fulham get a point, that he'd cry. Trust me, I think this week would be like the Anfield week, where we
yeah,
just were, oh my God, it's doable, it's doable, it's doable. At the moment, it's not in our hands. Excuse me, it's not in our hands, so it's not
yeah.
doable, is it?
It's really difficult because if Man City do drop points, whether that's the Spurs or Fulham or whoever they have left, I want to get excited, but then I sort of feel like I can't because if we beat United and obviously they drop points, we've still got a game to go, and it's like I feel like I'll only get excited when it's over, when I can actually enjoy it
Well,
because I get my
so
hopes up so much.
I know. So if they drop a point tomorrow and we beat United, I will
Yeah,
be I will be beyond excited. I don't think I'll cope with this week for excitement, because then
yeah,
it's in our hands and then we possibly could win the league at the Emirates in front of our fans on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. But that is one scenario. The other scenario is we have to beat
mhm,
United regardless, because we want to
yeah,
take it to the last game. Because for
mhm,
all of you people out there, everybody, we all know that funnier things happen in football,
yeah,
and it's a funny old game, as someone used to say. So as much as if you know, sorry, City go to West Ham and Arsenal have got Everton, no one knows anything. We'd all
yeah.
assume that they'd walk over West Ham, and West Ham are a very inconsistent side.
Mm.
But I would take that now that we're still in it and we've got
Yeah.
the chance, you know.
Yeah, I think before Dubai, when we were going through that really difficult spell, a lot of us, I can't speak for you, but I'll speak for other people. Like I know some people thought the title race was over then, and I do always believe like it's not over till it's over. I
Yeah.
think when we lost to Villa, I did feel like it is City's now. Really, it's up to them what they do. But I feel like you've always got to believe because anything can happen. I know last season it was disappointing that we kind of let them have it towards the last few games. We did lose and drop points where we could have won. And I feel like you've said before, even though if we don't win it, I will feel so proud because we've not given up, and this is the time of the season where we do kind of
Yeah.
fall off a little bit. Do you think? this season having that more experience has kind of helped us fight till the end?
Well, they got experience last year
Mm,
from the fact that, we collapsed at Newcastle.
yeah.
I can't remember the other games. The injuries, Rob Holding, poor Rob,
Yeah, I think it was
you know,
Brighton. Yeah, a lot of.
right. Yeah, it was the experience wasn't there. They've had that
Mm,
experience now. They've had that taste. They're all a year older. As we get older, we get more experienced. They've
yeah.
got leaders. Declan Rice, Havertz, Jorginho have all won trophies. Um, I just I I'm just so proud.
Mm,
We've
yeah.
watched the most wonderful football. We've just had the most wonderful fan experiences as well. And at the Emirates as well. I mean, it's been incredible with the away fans. The players and the fans are connected. The song's brilliant. North London Forever. I mean, it sends chills when we sing it. Um, and we all urge the team on. And I think that apart from a few idiots on social media
Yeah.
who will call for Arteta's head Sunday, whenever
Yeah.
possibly mathematically we can't do it. Um, Arteta has just been incredible. And what he's brought for us, you lot who don't like him will only appreciate when it's done, when he's gone.
Yeah, because I do, I've done videos of people and they have asked me because I think the problem is the lack of trophies, but I think when you're an Arsenal fan and you're watching the whole season, fans
Mhm.
might not see what we're seeing the whole process of how we've improved because last season I really loved us, but this season we're so much better than last season. We look prepared. We just look like we look ready, to win things, especially the league. And you're starting to see it now. The fact we're not giving up. We lost to Villa, which was obviously disappointing, but we keep on winning and we keep on going till the end. So I do think I always say everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I do think Arteta's. You look at when he came here to the squad he had then to the players we have now. I think it's absolutely incredible, like the transformation. And I think I'll put my hands up. When we lost to Villarreal, I wasn't sure about him, and honestly, I'm happy to be proved wrong because I just want us to win football. I want us to get us competing again. And last season, we've shown that we can do that. And this season, we've got even better. So it's hard to understand why people might want him to go. Even if we lose against United, I'll still support him because you can see. I think for me, if you see progress, then I don't think you could get a manager out. I think if we had gone backwards this season, then fair enough, you could ask questions. But you can see the season, can't you, that he's made a lot of progress.
And also, if you look at United and you look at, say, Chelsea, they would love to be in our position with a stable manager that has gone through the rocky part. And it's
Mm-hmm.
okay, Sophie, that you sit here and admit
Yeah.
that you wasn't sure. That's absolutely fine. Football's
Mm,
all about changing opinions. Listen, I'll never forget the time that I slagged off Monreal and he proved me wrong and I held
yeah.
my hands up. I'll never forget that. But I've supported Arteta since the moment he's come. I've really thought day one
Mm,
he's the right man. Plenty of people around me, I'm not talking about close friends, but different
yeah.
people I was on podcasts with didn't. And that's fine. Everyone's got their opinion, but you do have to give people time. They are
Mm,
going to make mistakes. There's often times where people will sit there and go, why didn't he bring on this one at this time? And why didn't he do that? Trust me, Arteta wants to win. He's
yeah.
not going to do anything detrimental. He's got a wonderful team around him. And at the moment, I absolutely love him. I
Yeah.
absolutely do.
Yeah, I think it's hard not to love him right now. I think it's absolutely incredible how he's changed our club. Yeah, I do agree with Chris about Jorginho. I could see
Yeah,
Jorginho
quite.
being a coach. I think that experience has really helped us develop. In having that experience as well is definitely helping us at the moment, especially Declan Rice as well has been absolutely amazing this season. But I did want to actually just touch on about the trophy situation because we see the progress we've made, and winning stuff is obviously a big part of that. Do you feel like next season is a priority that we should win a trophy? Because I know, like, it depends. We could win a trophy this season, hopefully, fingers crossed. But I think for me, like, I think when in the FA Cup, I personally love an FA Cup. I'd love us to get to a final, and I've always felt we've been a bit hard done by. We get Liverpool, Man City a bit early on, which obviously makes it difficult for us. But do you feel like we're able to next season bring some silverware home?
Um, I don't know is the
Mm.
answer. If City keep going the way they're going,
Yeah, it's
it's
hard to
tough.
compete with them, really.
It is.
Mm.
It's a machine. It's funded by untold wealth of a nation state. It is what it is. Look
Mm.
how well we've done to be. I mean, we're above them at the moment. Obviously, by tomorrow lunchtime, could all be different. We have kept up with them, and we are in nearly the middle of May. We have done this half of the season since January has been awesome. Going to
Yeah.
Dubai, there must have been something in the Dubai water because it
Yeah,
completely
I always
changed
say what
everything
happened
back.
in Dubai. Yeah.
Well, what happens in Dubai stays in Dubai. But however, they brought back their momentum, the discipline. Um, Obviously, it was the break they needed, and it's just been incredible. And as I said at the beginning, I feel like we've won. I'm not talking the league here. I'm just talking in general. A season it is defined by trophies, but it's also defined
Mm.
about what you watch. And
Yeah.
I mean, I watched some really poor football in the late 70s, early 80s. George Graham came. It wasn't the most beautiful football George Graham played. It was 1-0 to the Arsenal, the hands going up but then Wenger obviously brought the flair and
Mhm.
Arteta is as well. So when he asked me that question about the teams, it's on par when Phil said,
Mm.
"What's your favourite team? Is it this season or 89?" Nothing will beat that
Mm.
moment at
Yeah.
Anfield. I can never see it. And we are so lucky that as Arsenal fans, we had that moment. We
Yeah.
had it. Right. Just imagine being a Tottenham fan or another club, a Wolves or Aston Villa that they just don't have what we had. And trust me, Sophie, before you was even born and I was going to
Mm.
football, we were not a big club. We were
Mm.
average. We were just a
Yeah.
very well run, respected gentleman, did the right thing. It was the Arsenal. We were like 10th and 11th. We weren't.
Mm.
George
Yeah.
Graham escalated us. Everyone needs to remember that. He's that first trophy he won for us in 87,
Mhm.
86. Oh, I can't ever remember. Sorry, I think it's 87. Was the first live final I'd ever been to. Tottenham had won trophies before that in the cup finals. I was desperate, desperate to to win a trophy, and it was the most amazing experience to beat Liverpool
Mm.
2-1. Rushie's record we broke. Charlie Nicholas scores. We all go berserk. I had the best seat. I was on the stairs. Charlie Nicholas had my hat and scarf running around Wembley. So I've experienced that, and then from then on, I've been to every Wembley final bar one.
Mm.
And I went to the Stade de France. I didn't go to Copenhagen, and I
Mm.
didn't go against Galatasaray, but I've experienced the highs and the lows. And one of the lows, and I know you were talking about this at the beginning, I just came to my mind. I think I cried when Wayne Bridge scored at Highbury. There was a Chelsea, I don't know if it was a quarter final in the Champions League. Someone will tell me. Um, Wayne Bridge scored, and I think it was because it's classed as away goals count double.
Mm.
We were out, broke. I heard the scream at Highbury. It was done. So you have the highs, you have the lows, but this
Yeah.
whole season has been 99% high. And I think, does that equate to a trophy? Yeah, it was a quarter final, wasn't it,
Yeah.
Tarek? It was one of our worst moments. And I mean, I don't know if anyone remembers Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank when we were playing Leeds away. I think we were going for the title. He headed a goal home and it stopped our title challenge. Birmingham in the in the League Cup was horrific when Chesney and God, I can't remember the defender's name. My brain's gone. So there's been massive highs and lows, but I don't
Yeah.
remember a season like this. Maybe the Invincibles, obviously, but as good
Yeah. Other
as
than
what we're seeing, that may not equate in a trophy.
And now I think this is I've supported Arsenal. I started watching them around 2015, and it's hard because for me, Sanchez. was absolutely amazing, and I probably won't compare a player like him until I'm blown away. But obviously, I love Saka right now. But I think this team, like defensively as well, is the best I've probably seen us from the time I've been an Arsenal fan. But yeah, I think we have faced a lot of difficult times, and I think when you go through difficult times, it makes you love your club more because you'll want when you win, it feels even more better to celebrate with the team and the fans. So I think, yeah, I mean, I get that trophy defines a team. We do need to win, of course, but I think as well, it's obviously the football we played this season. I think it's been really good. I mean, I do see a bit of like a George Graham and Arteta in the sense that I feel like Arteta's been quite ruthless,
Yeah.
and when he's needed to get players out of the dressing room when they've, like the Aubameyang, Guendouzi, he's been very brutal and about that. And you know what? I do respect that because he's had to be like that. I think for me, Wenger, obviously, he'd left, and when Uni Emery came in, it was a big mess, and obviously he wasn't able to manage with that. And Arteta feels like looking back now, it all kind of makes sense how the job he's done, the player he's got rid of, and the squad we have now. I think it's done an amazing job. I know people will speak about trophies, and the season, like I said, we can win one, and next season. I do feel hopeful about it. I think obviously, there are League Cups, FA Cups, but I think, winning league, because I've never seen us win a league, I think that's something that I'd really love to happen. I think with the Champions League this season, I think when we went out in the quarterfinals, I wasn't really surprised. I kind of expected that because it's our first season back. But next season, regarding the Champions League, do you feel like we can go a step further? Do you feel like it just feels good to be back in the competition, and this time we don't really get battered by teams, so we can compete?
It depends what happens in the
Mm,
summer with transfers, doesn't it? I mean,
yeah,
I think we need, we were talking about this on the Same Old Arsenal podcast,
yeah,
that we need a winger because if
mm,
Saka gets injured or goes off, we don't
yeah,
have that top class replacement. Um, the left back situation, with Tommy getting injured, I don't feel Zinchenko suits the left back, maybe more the
yeah,
left wing. I think he's a good
mhm.
player, Zinchenko, but he worries me in defence at
Yeah, me
this
too.
part of the season now. I think he does. Um, obviously, Rayo, I'm assuming will sign. It just depends, doesn't it, on
Mm,
who's coming in, who's going out. But I do feel that I think we exceeded expectations this season in the Champions
mhm,
League to how far we got. And I do understand when people are saying that you've got to win trophies and stuff, but
yeah,
they're a pretty young team still.
mm,
They're finding their feet. They found their feet this season. If we don't win the league this season, I'm even more convinced that next season
mhm,
we will. The Champions League is just who you get drawn by, who you
yeah,
play the week before, who's injured going into it. It it's tough, isn't it? I mean, you look at Bayern, we didn't humiliate ourselves. It just didn't connect. Porto were throwing themselves all over the floor constantly. And I love the Champions League, and that's the one
yeah,
I want to win. I've seen everything else. I have
yeah,
to see us win the Champions League, and then I can die happy.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I think for me, I know a lot of people want to win the league, and I get that,
Mm,
but for me, it's the
yeah.
Champions League.
Yeah, I think the Champions League would be absolutely amazing. I mean, I feel like this season, I never expect us to win it. I think it would be quite unrealistic to think we would win it in our first season back after, being there in Wenger. But I think it would be amazing to win it. And I think, it's like we said, it's hard to know because I think if you never know if you get a team like Madrid who obviously it's been really successful in that, Man City obviously does make it a lot difficult. So I think, yeah, it's hard to know, but I think this season, I agree with you. I think we've kind of done better than what people kind of expected. I think with the league, yeah, I do, like you said, I feel very positive and really proud of how we're going. But talking on like the signings Arteta's brought in, I think obviously apart from Timber, sadly because he's obviously not
Yeah,
played, but it's been a shame because I think he would have been an amazing player this season.
we might see him so
Yeah,
against
I hope
Everton. You never
so.
know.
Yeah, I hope
Depends, doesn't
so.
it?
Yeah, I reckon with Timber we'd probably, see him maybe come off the bench, but I think he'd have been an amazing player this season for us. So it's obviously really devastating that he's had that injury and that
I know,
setback. But regarding
heartbreaking.
like the signings, who do you feel like's been the most important for this team? Because there's different arguments for different players because obviously Havertz has obviously been scoring lots of goals, but Declan Rice has gave us that experience and he's obviously really helped us. But which signing do you feel like's been the most important for us?
Declan Rice,
Mm,
without any shadow of a doubt. Declan Rice. That's what we needed. We
yeah,
needed the warrior in midfield. We needed the captain. I mean, he really
yeah,
is like a captain, isn't he?
yeah,
Absolutely. I honestly, Sophie, on our show, we have like a Declan Rice loving every week. It is ridiculous how much we talk about Declan Rice. And anyone that's in the chat room, that's in our chat room, knows exactly what I'm talking about. We just literally, we go from one to the other. And, it's going to be very hard when we do our end of season review on the same old Arsenal to choose a player of the year. Because if
yeah,
you
it's
ask
good.
me that question, I go Rice, I go Odegaard, I go Ben White, Saliba. It's Saka. It's like this, and it
Yeah,
and that proves how wonderful the team is, that you are struggling and people are arguing about it. It's not like everyone's going Declan Rice, everyone's going Odegaard. You got to look at Gabriel. I mean, even Raya. You know, I hold my hands up at the beginning. I didn't know what Arteta was doing.
yeah,
I didn't understand it. It's not a sort of position. I mean, I sort of tried to say to everyone, well, it's good to be competitive, but deep down, I was like, I don't really
mm,
understand. Ramsdale wasn't even a position I was looking at. Um,
yeah,
but as a couple of people, my other half and a guy called James Johnston, they
yeah. He's
said straight
lovely.
away the reason, yeah, LL Cool J, the reason is because there's small margins and he'll make up for those small margins that we need.
hmm
And he has. I can't even, I hold my hands up to say, well done, Arteta, on that.
Yeah, I think the signings have been quite interesting before they came because I'm very much like you. When we sign a player that I might in my head think I'm not too sure on, I do like to give them a chance because we've seen before when you prejudge players, you look at someone like Ben White,
I
he's
never
done
do.
absolutely amazing. So I always kind of keep quiet and see what happens. I think with Havertz, I feel like I have this trust in Arteta now that if he brings in a player, I'm confident that it'll work because yes, we've had a few with odd ones that haven't worked, but I'm sure Wenger's had that in his
Yeah, of
time, and
course.
it is part of football. And I think with Havertz, I think he's done a lot better than what I thought. I feel like I'm pleasantly surprised. I think at Chelsea because when you'd watch him, he obviously missed a lot of chances. That was the impression I got of him, but I feel like it says a lot about Arteta because he's really been able to get the best out of players. Like you look at Xhaka, obviously before he left, he was having an incredible season, and he obviously left on a high. I feel like Arteta is really showing the ability, that he's able to do that. And I honestly feel like Arteta is a fantastic coach, and I can't wait. Don't mention Rami. I do feel bad for Ramsdale. I do reckon
Yeah,
he'll probably go in the summer. What about? Do you think he'll be? Yeah, I don't think he'll
I
want to
think
be sat on the bench really.
I mean, to be fair, would you you wouldn't blame him, would you?
Nah,
He's
you
he
can't
ha I
blame
think
him.
has he played 1 or 2 games for us, and he's a great goalkeeper, and he needs to go somewhere. He really
Yeah.
does. And he'll go with our blessing because he's absolutely done nothing wrong.
Yeah, it's a weird one because I was like you when we signed Raya. I didn't expect him to kind of take over Ramsdale's place fully. I thought maybe he would compete with Ramsdale a bit more.
But no.
So yeah, I do feel there was a season's gone on. Raya's really grown in a lot of confidence, which I'm really happy about. So yeah, I think the signings have been amazing. I still can't believe Declan Rice plays for us. Sometimes it still feels a bit surreal. I'm just watching him and I'm like, is this really happening? He's such a great player. And I do agree with that point you made before about him, maybe one day being a captain. I mean, obviously, Odegaard, I really love Odegaard. I think he's a great captain. I think for me, since I've been an Arsenal fan, I feel like he's the best captain we've had since 2015. I just feel like he's the right fit. I feel like with Aubameyang, it just didn't feel right, and I feel like sometimes the captain's armband can be a bit too heavy for some players, and it just feels right with Odegaard. But I definitely think Declan Rice has that quality, that experience to go on and obviously hopefully be our captain one day. Rami can play for Spurs or Chelsea. I don't care. Do you know what? Do you know what?
No,
It,
Phil, no, he
no,
can't.
I'm sorry. I can't.
What's he
Sorry.
talking about?
Do you know what? Spurs right would be terrible, but do you know Chelsea? I still couldn't. I couldn't see him play for Chelsea. It'd really bother
I
me.
don't think he'd go to either club, and I don't think
Yeah,
either club's fans would want him either.
yeah. I feel like it would ruin a little bit of the love that we had for him. So Phil, I'm sorry, but he can't do that. Sorry, Amanda. No, yeah. Um, I mean, I know in this team we've spoken about there's so many talented players. Like we could just talk about this team all day. But for you, who would you say is our unsung hero in this team?
Unsung, probably Gabrielle.
Mm,
Ben White, Gabrielle. See, this is what happens. I go Ben White, Gabrielle, Ben White, Gabrielle. Uh, Probably Gabrielle, I would say. I
yeah.
think he goes under the radar with a lot of um,
Mm,
fans. Maybe not so much in the last month, couple of months, but
yeah.
he did. Um, so yeah, I think I have to choose Gabrielle over Ben White.
Yeah, I think it's hard. I used to think a few months ago I would say Ben White, but I feel like as time's going on, people are really starting to give him credit. I think as Arsenal fans, we appreciate him. I think kind of other fans are starting to see now, like what a great player he is. I think for me, I'd probably go Trossard because I feel like obviously comes off the bench, does his thing, but sometimes when he plays, he also, helps us. Yeah, I love his celebration. Yeah, I do also feel worried though about Martinelli because I know he's had an injury, and I just think next season I do wonder how it's going to go for him because. I would hate for us to ever move him on. I just really want to
I
keep him.
know. And how well was he playing
And I
before
feel
that
really gutted
injury? He was
for
on
him.
fire, wasn't he? Absolutely. Hopefully next season we'll see that again.
Yeah, I think he's absolutely amazing. Like, I feel like he's a really good substitute as well. He brings us some great energy that we need in the game. I just really hope it works out for him. And I know with Smith Rowe, it's quite an interesting one
Yeah.
because when he was playing a little bit, I could really see him fitting in his team again. And then he got injury. I'm sure he got an injury, and then he's kind of not played as much. Do you feel like he'll be at Arsenal next season, or do you feel like we could maybe get money for him?
I hope he is at Arsenal next season.
Yeah, me
There
too.
is rumours, isn't there, that but I don't think people know. I think it's down to him and his fitness and what
Yeah.
Arteta sees and what Arteta wants. I'm hoping it's this slow burn and then we see him a lot next season. But he's up against some great talent and the injuries really played him because he was playing obviously the Saka and
Mm.
Emil Smith Rowe song. You
Yeah.
know, we love them both together. Don't know, Soph, if I'm honest. I think
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised 50-50 if he goes or stays.
Yeah. I'm definitely with you because I think as well his fitness is if it's not up to standard, then he's obviously not going to get enough game time, and it's hard with the team we've got now. It's kind of hard for us to take any of the players out because they're doing so well. I think it would be harsh, obviously. I think if he went, obviously, I'd be sad that it didn't work because I know he's mentioned that he'd want to be, a legend of Arsenal when he was playing with Saka. So I would be gutted. I mean, Vieira is another one. He's not really had much game time. I think he's probably had a few injuries here and there. I did want to actually ask you about Partey because for me, since he's come back, I'm just really enjoying him. I did say before that I would be open to either. Like, if we sold him, I'd be open to that. But I'd also be open to maybe keeping him. I do know we need to make some changes in the midfield, maybe next season, bring someone in. But would you be happy to have Party here? No, I'm pretty sure he's still got like another year on his deal, I think.
That's a strange one. I think he's going to
Mm,
go,
yeah,
and I think it's probably right that he does
yeah,
for him and for us. However,
yeah,
uh, it's keeping him fit that's the problem.
yeah.
He's
He's
too
always injured.
inconsistent. He's consistently fit. Sorry, injured. But what a player he is, what a ball player he is as well. So it would I think what Phil just said, um, if
Yeah,
Partey could play 20 games, then great, but I think it's time to sell. But I was just about to say what Chris AFC just said. My
yeah,
problem with Partey is that he's prone to getting caught napping, and that was pointed out by a pundit a couple of weeks ago, and I said the same. Before the pundit said it, I said it because if you remember last year against West Ham, when
mm,
Rice took the ball off him, he just holds on to the ball that bit too long for me.
yeah.
There are times where there is a little bit of danger around him and he doesn't sense it, and that's my concern. Apart from that, he's a very good player.
Yeah,
Injured too much.
I feel like I know you obviously can't help it, but I do feel like he gets injured for like half a season or something like that long.
Yeah.
It's yeah, it's not really great for us if we kind of need him because we are starting to see him, Odegaard, Rice. It's a really great partnership there. I'm really loving that. But it's obviously I think I would be open to selling him. I think if the right amount of money came in, I think I could see us, him leaving. I wouldn't be surprised, like you say. We have never seen the best of Partey for long enough.
I
Yeah, I
agree.
think I think I'm sure last season as well when he's obviously fit and at his best, he's an absolutely incredible player to watch. But when he's when he's injured and when we don't see him, you could see the impact it has on the team. So I would definitely be open to selling him. I think we've got a lot of players that we might sell in the summer. I know like Reece Nelson, Nketiah. So I think it's going to be a busy summer for us, and hopefully next season we'll win things as well. I did want to just ask you a bit about the United game as we touched before. I'd love to know if you do score predictions for the game. I'm honestly not sure. I feel like it could be 2-0, but I kind of see them scoring. I don't think it'll be a tight game. I think it depends who kind of scores the first goal, really.
Well, if anyone watches, they know I have a podcast book. So let me see what I actually predicted for
I love
Man
that.
United on the show this week because I think I know what I predicted. I predicted 1-0 to the Arsenal. And James did as well, 1-0. And Mervyn, our other guest, went 3-2. So we're all sort of feeling positive. My little podcast
3-2, that
book.
would kill me. That would be so
I
stressful.
know. Do you know what? The whole game's going to be stressful. Whatever happens, whoever scores first, whatever happens, it's going to be stressful. Unless we are 6-0 up with 5 minutes to go, that's the only time you're going to be able to enjoy it. This is not a game to enjoy on Sunday, people. This is a game to get through and get the 3 points. I don't care if we score in the 95th minute and it's
Oh
an
god,
own
that'd be
goal
so
of
stressful.
and Onana throws it in his own net. I couldn't care less. We just need the 3 points.
Oh, I love how everyone's score predictions here are so different. 4-2. Carl says 3-1. I mean,
Oh,
I reckon we could. I mean, I'm with you. I mean, you can't go into this game saying no stress. It's going to be stressful. I don't think I've ever watched a game against United that wasn't stressful. I feel like they are always difficult. But yeah, I feel confident we can win, but I don't know how easy the game will be. I don't think it's going to be easy. Yeah, Rashford as well. I don't know if he's fit now. I'm not too sure, but he always does love a goal against us. Unfortunately, oh, that would be lovely. And then goal of Fernandez.
Phil Macker, 100% of an own goal for Fernando's arse would be good. Yes, I don't care. I don't care if
Yeah,
everyone goes, how boring was that match? I do not care. As long as we get 3 points and we take it to the last game of the season, that's all I care about. Well, obviously, full new Spurs. I don't think I've ever said that before. But
yeah. It's
it is actually quite funny. Can you imagine how distraught the Spurs fans will be if Tottenham
oh,
get
that
a
would be
point? To
amazing.
be fair, they're not good enough to get a point. I've already predicted that they'll get 5 there, City. And the thing is, which is a shame, is that we do need to score goals on Sunday
Oh, that's the
because our
thing. Our
goal
goal
difference,
difference. Yeah.
yeah, it's only 6 now. And I just feel they could easily get 3-4 tomorrow, 4-5 on Tuesday. We need to score because if it can't, well, it won't come to goal difference, but in that
Off it.
scenario, West Ham, you just don't know. It's tough because this is all Arsenal fans have been doing. It's not only me. We're all going, could they drop points? Will they drop points? I'm talking to my City mates. They think they're not going to score against Spurs. We're saying the same thing against United. It's going to be tough because it's our bogey side. So
Yeah,
It's an
I do.
interesting, if you come back next week, so like say Monday week when the season's over, and we just go, do you remember what we were like Friday night? And it's like, yeah, well, it was just easy, wasn't it? City won it all, and that was the
Yeah.
end of it. But
It's
who
gonna be
knows?
hard. I think with the City game, I think when they've scored one goal, I think you can see it coming. It's hard. I think if the City score early on, or if they score and it's quite a comfortable game, I'll probably just switch off. It's hard. It's because City played Wolves actually. I think it was last week. I actually fell asleep for the whole game, unintentionally, and I thought I'd check my phone. I thought, City, please, may you have lost or drawn, and it was like, I think it was like 5-1 or something, and I was like, oh, this is so annoying. It's so good. It's really annoying. I do actually agree with Cole's comment. It would be good for us to give them. I'd love to see us get 5 goals past United. It would be amazing. It's weird because you see Crystal Palace, managing to score 4 past them, and you think, obviously, we've been scoring so many goals this season, surely we should, but it's a completely different game when we play United because there's still that bit of rivalry, especially, I know, on social media with the fans. I mean, I don't know what it means to the players. Like, do you think the players think it's a big game to us and to them?
Well, just going back to Palace a bit, it's a very different situation. Palace have got nothing to play for, no pressure, easy
Yeah,
game. They took him to the cleaners. They fully deserved it, but there's no pressure. If the pressure
yeah,
was on Palace to stay up, it might have been a different matter. There's pressure on us every second of every day, and there
yeah.
has been for weeks. Sorry, what was your question, Soph?
No, I've forgotten that.
Oh no, sorry, I diverted back to Palace.
Don't worry. No,
So,
it's
do you think the
fine.
players are under pressure or something? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think the players think it's a big game? Because Arsenal United, especially in history, it's
Oh
been a
yeah,
really,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hope that, yeah,
because it's the Sunday afternoon, 4:30 kickoff. Sky will make it this massive thing because it
oh
is a
yeah,
big game. Whether
yeah,
way you look
it
at
is.
it, that one of those teams are going for the title, and the other one was a massive club that is just falling on their feet. And you know, Ten Hag loses another big game and then loses their last game of the season. They've
Yeah,
finished in their worst position ever in the Premier League with the least points. So they've not had a good season. So for them, as much as they don't like City, United players will want to beat us. They've taken a
yeah,
battering, haven't they? Their players.
yeah. Do you know what? It makes me feel like I really wish this game wasn't our next game now because
Yeah, so
it's,
do I.
yeah. I mean, I do look at United and I think, how can we not win? But yeah, we've got to. Oh my God, me too. It's just such a nice feeling seeing, United fans
Can you imagine
having that.
how bitter he's going to be on Sunday? If he's on comms on Sunday,
Oh,
can you
oh
imagine
yeah,
how bitter he hates us anyway? And can you only imagine if we get like a VAR or something we shouldn't get? If we get a penalty at Old Trafford, I can guarantee you 100% Gary Neville will say it's not a penalty, even if it is or isn't, because he's
he's
that
always.
bitter.
I'm
He
pretty. I
shouldn't
think,
be
yeah,
doing that game on Sunday. He shouldn't be doing it. It should
yeah.
be
I
Jamie Carragher
reckon.
doing it because he's got no allegiance, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one to make. I do reckon he'll probably be commenting on it. He always does. He probably do it with Jamie Carragher or Roy Keane. His meltdowns are another level. It's yeah. Oh, I just really hope we can do it. But yeah, I think next week we'll probably look back on this and either be really happy or just hoping City have dropped points. But before we do wrap the stream up, I just thought you could tell people, because I know you're on the same old Arsenal podcast and you're doing amazing stuff on there. I thought you could just tell people a bit about that and sort of how it all started, really.
Right. Well, I've been on a few podcasts over the years, but I
Yeah,
now part own it with James and Chris. The three of us have owned it over a year now,
yeah,
and we love it. It's definitely my podcast home.
yeah.
And we literally generally go post game. We do preview shows. We have guests on. We're going all through the summer as well. So
Mhm.
if you want to tune in, it's the same old Arsenal podcasts. We're on all audio platforms. YouTube, we've got Twitter, Instagram, we've got TikTok. The TikTok account is fantastic. Yeah, we're everywhere really. We're just three fans. All of us go to the Emirates. Some go to away games, and
Yeah,
we're just very passionate fans. We're not in it for the likes or the clicks or we're
yeah,
not. We're not a massive podcast. We're not one of the smallest. We're just who we are. So yeah, come and say hello.
I love that you're just there to chat about Arsenal. I think that's what's really good about yours. It's like, I think after games, it's really nice to just hear what other people have to say because we can all watch the same game but have so much
Yeah,
different opinions. I think that's what's the beauty of it because you learn of each other. And but yeah, please do check it out. I do love your channel. You're doing amazing things.
thank
And yeah,
you.
thank you so much for coming on, and thank you so much to all of you that have spoken with us, left comments. It's been really good. It's gone so fast. I've really enjoyed it. But yeah, I love this comment. I love Amanda's podcast. It's like a family. Oh, that's so
Oh,
sweet.
Phil, we are a family. We're a big Arsenal community, and as Phil knows, and as you know, Sophie, that we have many many regulars, and we keep getting
Yeah,
new people to the channel, which is lovely. We love hearing like diverse opinions as well. We
yeah,
always, I'm generally in charge of the comments, so I will always put up people that criticise me, Chris, James, or don't agree, because that's football.
mm,
It's all about opinions. No one's right or
yeah,
wrong. It's all how you feel, and that's what we love about our pod. Everyone's welcome. We have rival fans that come on, but please do come and subscribe to us because honestly, during the summer, we'll have the most incredible guests. And one of them actually will be Rebecca Lowe from NBC Sports. We haven't been able to make it work because of time difference in her schedule, but she's coming on for the summer. We'll get our regulars back as well. We love talking to so many different Arsenal fans, famous and non-famous. It's just listen, when you support a club,
yeah,
it is completely tribal. You are part of a community. It doesn't matter if you're in Outer Mongolia, Russia, Africa, America, or Northwest London. If you
yeah,
support Arsenal, you're one of us, and that's that.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think that's what's amazing because even though we'll be in different places, we're all here to support Arsenal. We're here to speak about the club we love, and I think that's what's amazing about doing YouTube as well. Because someone commented on a video and they're like from India, and I just think it's incredible that you
Oh
can get
yeah.
that far. I think that's what I think. It just blows my mind
Well,
really
can you
that
imagine, Sophie, if you live in another country? I mean, America is huge. I follow so many of the fan groups out there, and a lot of them
yeah.
come on to our pod as well. And yes, for the comment in there, Sophie will be coming on in the summer. She came on last summer with another Arsenal lady, and it was a fantastic show.
I enjoyed
Um,
that show.
And if you feel like, can you imagine if we supported a club that was in Africa? Can you imagine how we would feel if we got a community in our area that supported the club in Africa,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you was watching a podcast based in Africa, but you were able to talk to the people that went to the stadiums, and you know, I used to go home and away. I don't go away anymore.
Mm.
Can hardly get any tickets, let alone any
Oh, it's so
reason.
hard getting tickets these days.
But it's what
Yeah.
Tarek said. When I can wake up in time to watch it but you get fans from all over the world, Sophie, and they follow
Yeah.
you as well. And you are doing such great things with your channel, and you get such great guests. And everyone should subscribe to you because you're an absolutely fabulous Gooner girl. You really
Oh,
are.
you're too kind.
No, no, listen,
You're
I
gonna make
don't
me cry.
I get asked to go on a lot of shows. I
Yeah.
do get asked, and most of the time I won't do it because if I don't rate the person, I won't do it. And
Yeah.
I love coming onto yours, and I was really excited today. I thought, oh, I'm going to get to talk to Sophie, and obviously your chat room's slightly different to mine, and
Yeah.
we're both of the female gender, and we both love
Yeah.
football, and we both know what we're talking about.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. Thank you so much, Chris, as well.
Oh,
And that's nice, new people tuning in. But yeah, I honestly, before I kind of did YouTube, I watched a lot of YouTubers, and you were definitely one of the ones that I love watching. And yeah, I'm really proud of everything you're doing on your channel, and
oh,
it'd be
thank you.
definitely be great to come on as well. Yeah, thank you all so much again for your love and support. We do appreciate it. And please do go over to Amanda's channel, the Same Old Arsenal podcast, and do subscribe and check out that. Yeah, guys, thank you so much. I hope you did
Gone
enjoy
so
this.
quick, Sophie.
I know it's been an hour, like it's gone
I
so
feel like we
fast.
could
Where's
talk
the
another
time gone?
hour.
Oh, I
Oh
think I
my
could talk
life.
to you for hours.
And please
Yeah.
subscribe to Sophie. Press that bell for Sophie.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, please do hit the like button, do subscribe on the way out, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye.